In this video, we're going to look at how to do an integral test. Okay, so we're going to try to show this diverges, and we'll do that by showing that it's always greater than some continuous area under a curve that we can compute. So we're basically going to be comparing this to the function 1 over n squared plus 4, but we want it to always be greater than something in that curve. So if this was a curve 1 over x root x squared plus 4, which would be doing something like this, then we want to show that when n equals 1, our rectangle is above that. And when n equals 2, so that's our 1 point, and when n equals 2, our rectangle with that appropriate height is bigger, and so on. And so what we're going to try to argue is that this here is always greater than the integral of 1 over the square root of x squared plus 4 between 1 and infinity. And if we can show that this is greater than that, then, or rather, we can see that it's greater than that. If we can show that this is divergent, it will prove that this is divergent as well. Now, you do need to do an additional step with these integral tests. You must show that this is a decreasing function, because if this is not a decreasing function, well, then the logic here doesn't hold, right? If this suddenly starts curving up like that, then it won't always sit under these rectangles. So the first thing to do is consider the function f of x equals this thing here. I'm going to show it's always decreasing. So that's the function x squared plus 4 to the power of minus a half. I only need to show it's decreasing when x is greater than 1. So differentiating, I get f dash of x is, well, power comes down, minus a half times 2x is minus x, and then it's x squared plus 4 to the power of minus 3 over 2. When x is greater than 1, well, this bracket here is always positive because it's a positive input raised to a power, and then it's minus a positive number 1 times that. So what we can say is, therefore, f dash of x is always less than 0 when x is greater than or equal to 1. And therefore, we've got a decreasing function, and therefore my logic actually works. So I'm going to evaluate this integral, and if this integral turns out to be infinite, then this sum must also be infinite. Okay. Some of you will already know about hyperbolic functions, and some of you won't. I'm going to solve this not using hyperbolic functions, and then I'm going to solve it using hyperbolic functions. So I'll just do the not first and then the with afterwards. Basically, if once you learn about hyperbolic functions, which you will in this course, this is much easier to do with hyperbolic functions, but I think the way I've structured it in this course, most of you won't have done hyperbolic functions yet. So let's not do this with hyperbolic functions, and I'll come back and show you for those of you who have, or if you're coming back to this, having learned about hyperbolic functions. So this is annoying, but it wouldn't be so annoying if something squared plus 4 was easy to square root, and it would be if x were 2 tan u, because look what that transforms this integral into. It becomes 1 over the square root of 4 tan squared u plus 4, which is going to simplify nicely. But of course, I need my dx. So dx by du is 2 sec squared u. So I replace my x with 2 sec squared u du. Now I need to sort out my limits, but I'm actually going to be a bit sneaky here. The limits are a bit of a nightmare if you convert them into u. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to evaluate this in terms of u, and I'm going to convert back to x and use my old x limits. So what is this? Well, root tan squared, 4 tan squared u plus 4 is, well, 4 tan squared u plus 4 is 4 sec squared u, and the square root of that is 2 sec u. So I've got 2 sec squared u divided by 2 sec u, giving me sec u. And the integral of sec u is ln sec u plus tan u. Okay, let's convert this back into tan in the following way. The tan u is fine, that's just x over 2. What about sec u? Well, let's see. X over 2 squared is tan squared u, which is sec squared u minus 1. That means that sec squared u is the square root, or sec u rather, is the square root of 1 plus x over 2 squared. So what we have is ln, well, let's do our tan u first, which is just x over 2. So it's ln of half x plus the square root of 1 plus x over 2 squared. Okay, now here's the kicker, is that if I consider the limit as, let's say, a tends to infinity, well, if I'm subbing in something increasingly infinite, ln of something increasingly infinite is also increasingly infinite. So what we can say is this diverges as a tends to infinity. Now it's the full argument that the sum from n equals a to 1 over root n squared plus 4 is in fact always greater than the integral from 1 to a of 1 over root x squared plus 4. And since that diverges, and this is always greater than that, then the left-hand side diverges as well. So therefore, the thing we were trying to show also diverges. Let's also just do that integral now using hyperbolics because it's way, way easier. So we were trying to evaluate this sum to infinity of 1 over x squared plus 4. And for those of you who know hyperbolic functions, you'll know that without really any work, just a direct result, the answer to that is sine inverse of x over 2. It's perfectly in the form we needed. So there's the answer. And really what we're doing is just considering this as a tends to infinity. And this is where we would maybe consider the full form of that, which is ln x over 2 plus the square root of 1 plus x over 2 squared, which was the result we got when we didn't use it, which is nice to see. And this converges for the same reason that we just explored. As a tends to infinity, this diverges. And so that's an integral test. That's how we show that a sequence converges by comparing it to an integral that we know also converges, or rather that we've shown also converge it. And so that is our integral test. That's how we show that something diverges, by comparing it to an integral that we know also, or that we show also diverges. We could also use an integral test to show convergence as well, by showing that a sequence is always less than an integral which we can prove converges. All right, that's integral tests, and I'll see you in the next video.